Okay, I'm back. Now I had some videos, well, a video I posted yesterday about, uh, what did I call it? Dark matter displacement. And basically what that theory is about is space, air, the air in space is essentially dark matter. And I'm glad whoever called it dark matter and dark energy. I'm glad they called it matter because it actually is like it's a material. Space air is actually like a material. So what happens, and I'm just going to refresh with that real quick, and then I'm going to move on to more interesting things. Uh, so uh, real quick, dark matter. So everything that has mass has its own gravitational bubble, its own bubble. What that bubble is the mass, the whatever has mass. You know, if it's my wallet, which doesn't have any mass at all, but if it has mass, uh, there is it actually pushes the dark matter away. Okay. Now, when you get more than one thing, and you have two bubbles around, you know, I can't do it while I'm holding it, but you have two bubbles around each thing. Uh, and they move and you know, there's always movement in space. They get bound in each other's bubble, okay? And this is what we call a gravitational pull or an attraction. So what happens when these two things get interlocked is the dark matter bubble actually expands a little bit. Okay, how does it expand? Because there are two bubbles. If this one's like this big around here, and this one's like this big around here, when they come together, it stretches that bubble out. That bubble needs more room. Um, and so another thing that also happens is when these two objects come close, they won't touch. Okay, they won't touch. They won't combine. So the space in between them, and even on the atomic scale, is very small, and the dark matter can't be broken. There's bubbles, okay, but it can't be broken, but it can be stretched. So in between these two pieces, okay, of matter, of mass, there's a force there that we either call gravity or magnetivity. But what that force is this dark matter being stretched in that area. It's being stretched. Um, and then, of course, if you add and keep adding more items in, uh, your dark matter bubble gets bigger, and since the mass wants to be close to each other, find its even flow, the stretching inside of the dark matter only increases. It grows greater. um, so and again, I think that's what we call magnetivity or gravity. Uh, I think it's the stretching of the dark matter. But anyway, so now I want to get into something that's a little bit more exciting, a lot more challenging. And I say it's a lot more challenging because I know nobody's working on it. I don't think anybody's even talking about it. I don't think anybody's even mentioned it. I want to talk about moving, not moving faster. I want to talk about breaking the speed of light speed limit. Okay, the speed of light speed limit is 186,000, whatever it is. Okay, for us to grow as a society and really understand what's going on, beyond our solar system, we need to be able to do things much faster than the speed of light offers. It's just we we can only receive images from years and years and years ago, and we don't, we can tell chemical makeups of certain stars and whatnot, but the speed of light just simply isn't fast enough. So we have to break that barrier. It has to be done. I mean, it just has to be done. So I'm going to look into using my theory on dark matter displacement. I'm going to use that theory first to discuss what kind of machines can be made. Now, this is the fun part, because eventually I'd like to, I won't be able to afford it. Maybe I will someday. I don't know. But I'd like to afford to borrow an AI or a supercomputer, probably AI, a smart one, a really smart one. Because what I want to do is I want to feed this thing full of information about, okay, the makeup of what dark matter is. That's something we don't know either. We have a clue about its weight, its pressure, stuff like that. Okay, let me pause that. Okay, so we have that information. Some of it, not all of it. But in order to break this human speed limit, speed barrier that is the speed of light, we need to go faster now. I mean, not just faster. We need to go much faster than that. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. The speed of light is so slow. Okay, so we got to break that barrier, number one. Like I said, I'm going to be, my idea I'm going to try and build off of. All right, now this is going to be pretty intense. A few years ago, I wanted to be able to build a machine that could actually see Earth's magnetosphere. Okay? They could actually see it. I was thinking it would be great if it was just a little handheld device and you could hold it up and see the magnetosphere, Earth's magnetosphere, see. And now here's the trick about the hard part. It's not a trick. The hard part about the magnetosphere is the differences in strength that you will see in the magnetosphere. You'll have arc lines that are much more powerful in certain areas, and then you'll have arc lines that are, I'm not going to say weaker, but they are weaker than the very strong ones. And if we design this into an app or something, the darker ones would be a more solid color, and the weaker ones would be more effervescent. Effervescent. I'm not sure the word, but more see-through. But I'm like imagining holding an iPad and looking up and being able to see Earth's magnetosphere and seeing the arc lines. And I'm not even sure if they're called arc lines. It just makes sense right now. I'm not a scientist. I just like figuring things out. So there's all kinds of challenges just in building a device that can see the magnetosphere. There are all kinds of challenges. Okay, so that's I'm going to call that number one, and I'm writing this one down because it's going to directly relate to an idea I have on how to break this speed of light barrier. And now I want to say something right now about the speed of light barrier. Matter, as we know it, we cannot push matter or anything with mass faster than the speed of light. Okay? But that's fine. If we can communicate faster than the speed of light, we don't really need to travel. Okay? If we can communicate faster than the speed of light, now here on this planet, it doesn't really matter. Okay? I mean, we can obviously do live conversations around the planet, and they're instantaneous to us. But if we can communicate faster than the speed of light, and I'm talking way, I said it before, way faster. All right, let me write this first one down before I forget. See Earth's magnetosphere. Okay, machine. I'm gonna write that in there. Okay, so there's one. I'm sorry, I'll grab a darker marker so you can see better. So now, sticking with this, trying to go faster than the speed, trying to communicate faster than the speed of light, we have to find ways that are possible, that it's absolutely could be possible for this to actually be a real thing. Okay, now, so we have to look at what we know right now. We know that we are held in place in the sun's orbit, and as I said in my video before, I believe that's due to the dark matter displacement, and when all the mass is located in one area and you have all this dark matter being stretched way out, it actually rolls out in wave form, almost like an ocean wave. You know, it's just, it rolls. And if our mass object is over here pushing the dark matter away, you'll have relaxed areas, relaxed zones, relief zones. I believe they'll be vortex shaped because that's convenient, where planets can be created. Again, I talked about that in my last video, and I think a couple other videos I posted. But this is important to know because these lines, I called them gravitational, gravity tendons, gravitational tendons. It's the stretching of the dark matter. Now, this may be what some people consider dark energy. Is the actual stretching of the dark matter. Okay, I don't know what to call it. I can see it in my head, and I can explain it. What to call it, I don't know the words. But we know the Earth's got a magnetosphere. We know the sun has a massive magnetosphere, heliosphere. I'm not sure if I used that term correctly. Jupiter's got a massive we know this, okay? So if we could see it, that would be great. Like, just, hey, we could study and see it. I think there are some machines that can do it right now. But we need to make more of them. We need to get it down to the people level to make these things. So here's my thought on how to start trying to break the speed of light barrier. Uh, I think that it has to do with the gravity tendons, the dark energy, the stretching of the dark matter in between two objects with mass. Okay, stretched out. It's a since space air is actually a material. It's actually a solid. Uh, it's stretched. Okay, it can be stretched. Now, if it can be stretched, you know, there should be a way where we can not only see it, but we can access it. Okay, so accessing and being able to manipulate those tendons, okay, those gravity tendons, the I'm going to get yelled at by so many people here by calling it dark energy. I should be calling it the magnetic lines or the gravitational, something like that. I should be calling it that. But in my theory, it's just easier to call it dark matter, and then the lines, I believe, are the dark energy. Um, so if we can access those tendons, those gravity tendons, okay, those lines in between, I believe that connection is near instantaneous. Near instantaneous. If now we can't stand on the sun's surface, but if we were standing on the sun's surface in the right area, okay, and we can see these gravity tendons or gravity arcs, we would be able to see coming out of the sun the arcs going out to Mercury, and the arcs going out to Venus, and the arcs going out to Earth, and so on and so on. Many arcs, okay? Now the trick is, again, accessing those arcs. Like if we could see those arcs, actually see a direct link from the sun to the earth, and it's there. It is definitely there. Okay, we have not found it, we haven't seen it yet, but it's definitely there. Accessing that, you know? So we would need to, that's the difficult part, and that's what I want to think about, and that's what I'm going to be thinking about as much as I can, because that is super interesting. Okay, how to not only see the magnetosphere, the gravity tendons, whatever you want to call it, I'm calling gravity tendons, it's easier. Not only seeing it, but being able to manipulate it, to touch it, to jiggle it, you know, kind of like binary or Morse code or something, you know. That's straight, that's kind of, it came to my head, but that's really, it's straight from Interstellar there. But so designing machine now is going to be the thing, or designing a way to access those gravity tendons. And that's what I wanted to plug into the supercomputer, or the super AI thing. So if there's anybody out there that's got one of them super AI things, like the super duper ones, I'd like to fill it with some information and say, hey, start figuring out a way to let humans access this. You know, how can we, you know, is it going to be a sound thing? maybe if we had like two speakers or something, and we shot sound waves across uh, where we figured the gravity tendons were, we might be able to see something that way. And with sound, we might even be able to manipulate, put a little bit of vibration in that tendon. So that's a possibility. You know, you got a speaker here, and your tendon's in the middle. Well, the tendon's got all the information from wherever it's coming from. Okay, it's got a certain amount of information that it's passing through. Okay, um, literally, it's information from the core of the Earth. Or if we were on the moon, it would be information from the core of the moon, and not the entire core, just a specific tiny location. And gosh only knows where it could be, because those tendons are probably all squirreled around inside the center of the planet, just all twisted around and wrapped. So pinpointing a location would be extremely difficult at this point until we learn more about it. But I might be onto something there by saying that somehow using sound, and now this is weird, we can see the gravity tendons. Okay? I think we're getting into a lower signal, a very low frequency. And you could like transfer, we'd actually have to be able to see the sound waves too. We'd have to be able to see the sound waves too. I believe so. So seeing the gravity tendons is one thing, but then being able to see the sound waves is probably another thing. And I think a few videos back, I had this whole chart on understanding the tendons themselves. I had like a description of how they travel and the kind of information they carry. And I believe personally that they are color coded. They're color coded. And they are color coded due to the elements that they are associated with or passing through. Okay? No matter where they're at, if they're incoming or outgoing, I believe these gravity tendons hold information about where they're going, the direction they're going, the speed they're going, and the entire chemical composition of everything they're passing through. The entire chemical composition of everything that they're passing through. It's a knowledge line. They're knowledge lines that are going out that that's a brand new concept. We can't see them. No one knows. Well, I don't know. I believe they're there. But it's got all the information, okay? And there's thousands of them. Just on this, millions of them on this planet. Millions of them on this planet. All of them are different. All with different codes. So Earth's magnetosphere or dark energy displacement isn't as far reaching as our sun's. Okay, obviously we are in the sun's shield, but Earth has got its own reach. Okay, so there's information. I'm sure if there's when comets go by, and we're like doing meteor showers and stuff, that affects the gravity tendons or gravity arcs or the magnetosphere arcs and sends information. It jiggles those lines, those gravity tendons, and sends information. So that was also in another video. So anyway, it seems like I was talking in circles this whole time and got nothing accomplished, but actually I think I made a pretty big step, and until I can actually prove it, I'm pretty happy right now. I want to beat my goal here is to figure out a way to beat the speed of sound. All right? And I'm going off a theory that I pieced together by listening to other scientists. And hopefully this theory is right with the gravity, dark matter displacement, and the gravity tendons I'm talking about, the magnetic tendons, the dark energy. But if it's true, now here's the other thing. Now is if it's true and I'm right and I'm correct about the tendons, and if someday we are able to access them, manipulate them, whether it be, and that's what makes me happy, is the sound thing, because we can't physically grab these tendons, but the sound thing might be able to jiggle that tendon a little bit. Now that's completely down the road, obviously. And the key thing is figuring out, does it move faster than light? Does it move faster than light? If we can get in there and access it and jiggle it, does it move faster than light? And now the funny thing with that is the way to do an experiment like that is obviously we'll have to figure that out. It's not like you can use a cell phone, because that doesn't move. That if that moves as fast as light, that's it. But if you're sending a signal somewhere, you can't have somebody call you and say it's working, because you're going to have to be able to understand. We're going to have to do something and have somebody somewhere else to be able to witness the result and mark the time, and they're going to have to be at a great distance away. Well, with these supercomputers, maybe not. They might not have to be that far away. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to keep trying to find ways to break the speed of light limit. Throw your comments. Love to hear from you. I work in construction, so this here is just a pastime of mine, but I love it. My whole point behind that is I don't got a lot of money to put into this stuff, and I have a very active imagination. So I'm kind of like that dog in the movie Up, squirrel. Because I'm between trying to do something with the ideas business and then trying to do something with personal air transportation vehicles on my not very big salary. I'm just trying to figure it out here. But anyway, enough of that. Love to hear back. Really, it'd be great to talk to some other people about this, because right now I'm just talking to myself. Maybe looking at a camera, standing in front of one, but really, I'm in an empty room talking to myself. So please throw your comments out there. I don't care if they're good or bad or what. Just hearing from somebody would be great. All right. Thanks for your time.